Hello,
Hi,
I'm Grace.
and I'm Celine.
Welcome back to Podium Pop, a Formula One podcast. Today we have a special episode here for you. We are doing a beginner's guide on Formula One Academy. But before we get into that, make sure you are following us on all of our socials. We're posting on YouTube, Spotify, we're on TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you're following us to keep up to date with everything.
Definitely. So, we are going to go ahead and get right into a little bit about Formula One Academy. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
start out by telling you a little bit about the face behind Formula One Academy, Susie Wolf. She had a very successful career as a race car driver before moving into the role as the managing director for Formula One Academy. We do a much more in-depth video on the history of her career over on our TikTok, so make sure to go check that out. But for now, we're going to focus on her time with Formula One Academy. So she was a Formula One driver in the past. She actually participated in a practice round for Williams F1 in the 2014 British Grand Prix over at Silverstone. And since then has had a career in managing different teams in different series, including a Formula E team. She is now, like I said, managing director for Formula One Academy. Last year was the very first year that they had this, and this year they have just grown even bigger and extended the audience and extended quite a bit of sponsors. We're super excited for the growth of Formula One Academy, and here at Podium Pop, we are really excited about supporting all of the movements, getting young girls and women interested and inspired to join motorsports. Susie Wolf also has a couple of different organizations, including her Dare to Be Different organization, which does focus on the growth and development of young girls interested in motorsports from ages 8 to 14, with a lot of awesome ambassadors joining that, including Claire Williams, who was the principal for Formula One, the Williams Formula One team until 2020. So she's doing a lot of great work, and Formula One Academy is just another thing showing off the awesome, stuff she's doing for the movement. But we're going to talk a little bit about the teams, the structure, and just explain a quick beginner guide on the Formula One Academy weekend.
Yeah. We're first going to let you know all of the teams. So we have Roden, MP, Campos, GP, and Prima.
Yeah. And we're going to break down these teams with their drivers. So there are 5 teams in Formula One Academy, and each team has 3 drivers, so a total of 15 participating. So going over the first team that we are going to talk about, Roden, the first driver we have is Lola Lovenfoss. So we've actually discussed her before on our podcast when we talked about Charlotte Tilbury becoming a sponsor and a partner for Formula One Academy. So each driver has a sponsor, along with the team that they are driving for. So while Lola drives for Roden, she is driving a Charlotte Tilbury car with all of the sponsorship on there. She is a French driver, and before she's joined Formula One Academy this year, she's competed in the Spanish Formula 4 series in 2021 and 2022. She was in Formula One Academy last year as well, and did finish in the top 10 with 3 podium finishes last year. So we're super excited to see the progress that she's made from last year to this year, and follow her. It's super exciting that she's getting to drive for Charlotte Tilbury. We, again, have a full discussion, a full video on our TikTok, as well as a more in-depth discussion on an older episode. But we were all very excited to see Charlotte Tilbury join the track.
Yeah, we were.
Next driver for Roden is Abby Pulling. She is sponsored by Alpine, so each of the Formula One teams did sponsor a Formula One Academy driver, so she is driving under Alpine. She is a British driver, and before she joined Formula One Academy, she came 6th in the British Formula 4 series. She competed in the W Series and joined the Alpine Driver Academy in 2023. Last year in Formula One Academy, she had 7 podiums and did finish in the top 5. Now, for this year's Formula One Academy season, it has actually already started, and we've already seen her kind of pulling ahead and showing a lot of progress from last year to this year. So she's definitely one that we should keep an eye on. And then the last driver for Roden is Jessica Edgar. So she is sponsored technically by Formula One Academy. She doesn't have a specific sponsor there. She is also a British driver, and she participated in GB4 in 2022, as well as came 8th last year in Formula One Academy. And again, she is one that I kind of have my eye on watching to see how she does this year.
Yeah. Next, we have MP. So the first driver I'm going to talk about is Emily De Hughes. She is a 20-year-old Dutch driver, and she is being sponsored by Red Bull, the company, not Red Bull Racing. So that's a little different. And she, in 2020, competed in the Dutch Winter Cup karting series. This is her second year going into Formula One Academy, which is very exciting once again to see her progression.
Yeah, and actually she is another thing about Emily is although she's driving for the Red Bull team, she's also driving under the Ford sponsorship. So she is represented by Ford as well.
Yeah. Next, we have Hamda Al-Kubasi. She is 21 years old from UAE, and she is racing under her sponsor is Red Bull Racing. So just like the Red Bull Racing we see on the Formula One grid. She spent 4 years in karting before moving up to the Italian F4 series, and she also participated in the first all-women's FIA test in 2022. And she is the highest driver. She scored highest last year in Formula One Academy. She got third place. I did to see what she is going to do this year.
Again, she's definitely someone that I have my eye on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We have next Amna Al-Kubasi, which her and Hamda are sisters, so they're on the same team. I think that's so cool to see that they're.
That would be so
together.
fun.
I think it'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. She is 23 years old, also like her sister from the UAE, and her sponsor is Visa Cash App RB. A lot of Red Bull for this team.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Red Bull.
Yeah. She started karting in 2014, and she raced in the Italian F2 series in 2018, and she competed in F4 UAE, Formula Regional European Championship. And she also raced in Formula One Academy last year, getting 2 race wins, and she came in 6th in the championship.
Next, we are going to talk about the team Campos. So first, representing Campos is Carrie Schreiner. She is sponsored by the Sauber Kickstake F1, whatever you want to call it, team. She is a German driver. She started in karting. She did karting from 2011 to 2014. She did compete in the ADAC Formula 4, as well as participated in endurance and GT racing. She competed in the Nuremberg 24-hour race, as well as in Formula One Academy last year. She also participated, and she actually got her first win at Zandvoort.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Chloe Chambers is the next Campos racer, and she's also the first American driver that we're talking about today, which obviously me and Grace are from America, so we have a special interest in the American drivers. She's driving for Haas, and she's participating in the United States Formula 4 championship in 2021. She also competed in the W Series, and in 2023, she participated in the Porsche Sprint Challenge North America. And then the next one, and another one that we definitely should keep our eye on for this year, is Nuria Marti. She's driving for Tommy Hilfiger under the Campos team. She is a Spanish driver, and she has participated in Spanish F4 in 2019, the W Series, and last year in Formula One Academy, she came in 4th.
Amazing team.
Mm-hmm.
Our next team we're going to talk about is Prema, which we've probably heard a lot about Prema in F2 and other series. The first driver I'm going to talk about is Tina Hausmann. She is from Switzerland, and this year she is racing under the sponsor Aston Martin, which love Aston Martin, so love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
She started karting at the age of 7, and in 2023 she was the highest placed female driver in the Italian F4 championship. She also raced in the Euro F4 championship. And I'm very excited to see what she's doing, honestly. I feel like she's had a pretty good start to this year. Very excited for Tina.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Dorian Pin, which we are recording this after the first race for Formula One Academy, and Dorian has won the very first race.
Mm-hmm.
She
As
did
well as
so
getting
good.
double pole position too.
Literally, she did so good. Like, I'm so excited to watch her this year.
Mm-hmm.
She is from France, and she is racing under Mercedes this year, the Mercedes sponsorship. She, in 2019, won the French championship title in karting, and she's also competing with the Iron Dames World Endurance Championship Series. So right now she is competing in Formula One Academy and the World Endurance Championship, which that's just amazing. She's doing so
Kudos
much.
to her.
Like, really, I could not do that. That's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's doing these endurance races and competing in Formula One Academy.
And killing it too.
And killing
already.
it. She's doing so good.
Mm-hmm.
And last year in 2023, she was the first female driver to win the Revelation of the Year award, which is awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely excited to see her season.
I think she's going to do so good. I cannot wait. Next up is Maya Weg. Maya was born in Spain, but this year she is racing under the Dutch flag. She started karting at the age of 7, and she won the FIA Girls Racing Star program, and then after she won that, she became the very first female driver to become a part of the Ferrari Driver Academy. So this year she is racing under the Ferrari sponsorship.
Awesome. The last team that we have to go over is ArchieP. So the first driver representative for ArchieP is Bianca Bustamante. She is driving under McLaren. So again, we have been kind of following her from the beginning just because we are McLaren fans. She is from the Philippines, and she is the first female in the McLaren driving program. Hopefully more to come for that. Multiple karting championships. She's participated in the W Series, and in Formula One Academy last year, she was 7th overall in the championship. The next one for ArchieP is Aurelia Nobles. She is driving under the sponsorship Puma on the ArchieP team. It's kind of a tongue twister. She is a Brazilian driver. She participated in Brazilian F4. She also joined the Ferrari Driver Academy, and she participated in Italian F4 and Euro F4. But this is going to be her first year in Formula One Academy, so she is technically a rookie.
Very excited for her.
And then, yes, very excited to see what she can do. And then the last one, Leah Block. She is driving for Williams. We are big Leah Block fans. We are definitely rooting for her. She is another American driver, so obviously we have to support. Also, we love Williams. It's a win-win for us. She started karting at age 11. She comes from a big racing family. Her dad was super, a huge driver for rally car. She also competed in rally car, and she actually became the youngest ARA, which is the American Rally Association, the youngest ARA champion when she participated in 2023. She also competed in Nitrocross Next for the 2023-2024 season, and along with her joining Formula One Academy this year, she will also be competing in the Extreme E 2024 season. So she also, along with Dorian, are going to be very busy this year. And
booked and busy.
She was actually featured on the Williams podcast they do with Logan and Alex. What's it called? Team Torque. She was featured on there, so they definitely got to talk to her and a little bit about the differences between going from rally car to a more of a Formula One, Academy car. And it's going to be interesting to see how her driving experience transfers over. But the fact that this is going to be really the first time she's participating in an open wheel, karting, race car championship, it's going to be interesting to see. And she's already doing a great job. So
yeah, she's already doing so good.
So that's a little bit of an overview about the teams, about the drivers. We definitely have our favorites, and we're excited to see. I mean, Dorian is definitely one that is kind of proving that she's one to watch. We also obviously are watching Hamda El-Kabasi because she, did so well last year. And then obviously we are keeping an eye on Leah Block because we're we're rooting for her. But it's going to be an exciting year. And another thing to note about Formula One Academy is it is an all-spec series, so that means that all of the cars are the same.
Yes.
So really, it makes the driving and rather with Formula One, Formula One, Red Bull pulling away from with the championship, because all of the cars are the same, it keeps the standings very much closer together. Much more back and forth with who's leading the championship, as well as it makes the drivers, rely on their abilities, and that's going to be like kind of a deciding factor there.
Yeah, which is really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'm going to talk a bit about the structure, so how the weekend will work. They have 2 40-minute practice sessions every weekend, and they have a 30-minute qualifying session. So how qualifying works is the drivers who get the first fastest times, that is how they will qualify for the first race. So, for example, Dorian Pin got the first fastest time. She got pole. They also need to make sure they're getting like 2 fast laps, because the second fastest times will go and be the grid for the second race. So kind of in Formula One, if the drivers can pull out 1 fast lap in qualifying and, get up top, they're good. But for Formula One Academy, these girls are want to go around and get 2 good times for them so they can have good starting spots for the grid and for the races. The top 10 drivers will get points, and it starts out first place gets 25 points, and it'll trickle down to 10th place getting 1 point. And this year there are 7 races. They are in Jeddah this weekend, Miami, Barcelona, Zandvoort, Singapore, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi.
I am very excited they're coming to Miami. Me and Grace will
wait.
be at that race, so we will be able to watch them in person for their second race. I'm very excited. I am glad that they picked one of the races to go to that we're gonna be able to see in person. It'll be really special. There are some rules for the Formula One Academy. So the age range is 16 to 25. It also is a series where, similar to Formula 2, if you win, you cannot participate in that again. And there also is a limit. It is 2 years that you can participate in Formula One Academy before you need to basically move on. And that is, those rules are in place basically to give other drivers a chance to come in and gain that track experience and gain that chance to get some sponsorships and work their way up into Formula 3, Formula 2, and ideally one day we'll get a woman back into Formula 1. Yeah. Fingers crossed for that. But there are some of the guidelines there.
Yeah. So at the end of this year, we're going to see a lot of drivers having to step out of Formula One Academy and hopefully find a new series to race in.
Yeah. And while it's a bittersweet rule, because, you don't want to see them go, I do understand where they're coming from versus like with Formula One. It's, bless his heart, Fernando Alonso has been in there for 20 years now. So yeah. I think I understand why they have that rule. And I think it's going to be, helpful to build that pipeline of women driver. But it's definitely, it requires a lot of, focus on the programs for younger generations to kind of build that interest, for young girls in motorsports, because eventually if they don't, rely heavily on those, they're going to kind of run out of a pipeline and they're going to run out of drivers to join Formula One Academy. So it's super important to not only support Formula One Academy, but support those programs like Dare to Be Different and other, movements, getting young girls involved in motorsports.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about the winner from last year's Formula One Academy season, and that was Marta Garcia. She won the inaugural Formula One Academy season. She did absolutely amazing last year. I'm really sad that I didn't watch any of the races, honestly. She raced with Prima. She had 7 wins, 12 podiums, and 5 pole positions, which that is so amazing.
It's an absolute domination.
Yeah, she did great. Loved to see
and
that.
Honestly, I could see already I know it's the first race of the year, but Dorian is like definitely on track to completely dominate this year. So we'll definitely know more about what the standings are like after the first couple of races, and if we can expect a total domination or if we can expect a bit closer of racing this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it just goes to show that it really shows the proof in the driver,
Yeah.
and it really kind of puts aside like who has the potential to one day get to Formula One. Many people have asked when they think the next women Formula One driver will be, and people are expecting it to be in the next 5 to 10 years.
It needs to
I
be.
personally would. I'm waiting for the day to have someone join the Formula One grid, and I do wonder who it would be though. Do you have any thoughts?
I wonder, like, we hear a lot about Jessica Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if maybe she would be there. I
That's
don't
definitely who
know.
I first thought of, and I
Yeah.
need to do some more research. But I wonder if there have been many women drivers in Formula Two or Formula Three
Mm-hmm.
recently.
Yeah.
So I'll need to look into that. But it is interesting, and I as well immediately thought of Jessica Hawkins also.
Yeah. It also, with Marta, she has received a fully funded seat in Prima Racing for the 2024 Formula Regional European Championship. So it goes to show that Formula One Academy is really helpful in that aspect of, helping move these drivers along. We're seeing the winner of the first season, get this seat and be able to keep going and racing in different series, which is amazing to see.
Definitely. I mean, the biggest thing is, we talk about becoming a Formula One driver all the time is you need to either have a lot of money or you need to have a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
And it's, sponsors don't immediately think to sponsor taking a chance on these women drivers that don't really have a lot of experience. And this is really the big thing with Formula One Academy is they're allowing one to get them experience on the track. It's going to get them more super license points, and it's also just going to get them more exposure to the important people that really are kind of looking for that next big Formula One driver.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, that's kind of a very basic intro on Formula One Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're super excited. We're going to continue to kind of follow it throughout the season, and we will be including updates about the races in our race recaps every week.
Yep.
So definitely make sure you're following us on all of the social media just to keep up to date with our episodes. Subscribe to us on Spotify, follow us on YouTube. Like this video if you're watching on YouTube, if you've enjoyed it. But I think, again, it's just super exciting, and it feels like such a special time to be, a female fan of Formula One.
It does.
That it's kind of this big push, this big movement. The female fans, have grown so much for Formula One recently over
Yeah.
the last couple of years. So I think with, there've been attempts in the past to do something similar to this that haven't been successful. I think now is the time that we're able to kind of get behind that and get some movement behind it and make it successful this time.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's super exciting. And we're already seeing that success come from these bigger sponsors coming in this year.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. And thank you to Susie Wolf.
Yes, as always, Susie Wolf, where would we be without her?
Seriously,
She
it's her world.
Fun fact about Susie Wolf: she did get a honorary fellowship for the University of Edinburgh because of the progress she's made for women in sports in general, not even just motorsports.
I love that.
She deserves it. She deserves the world. I heard her husband is also something in motorsports, but he's definitely at a lower position than her, so I'm not quite sure exactly what he does. I'm not even sure what his name is, but Susie Wolf is definitely, a success, and we're all super excited to see her continue in her career.
We sure are.
Thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure you follow us, like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment below who you're excited to see and who you got your eye on for the Formula One Academy season. And check back here for any follow or for any updates on the season.
Bye.
Bye.